Scott, how are you doing?
Truman.
Sorry. I like to come in. I just like to yell at everybody. How are you doing?
Coming in hot, folks.
Yeah, of course. How was your week?
Good. Had a good week. Actually, we've been on fire both with our free plays and with the premium picks, so I can't complain.
That's great to hear.
Everybody's happy. And yourself? How was your week?
Oh, not a bad week. Survived the work week. Had a few bets. I had a lot of people text me during the week, asking me for a lot of picks. I gave out good advice for once, so it felt good, you know.
That's weird.
I know, that never happens to me. Oh.
Very
Welcome
good.
everybody back in to another episode of Steehn versus Machine. Of course, I am the Machine, Truman Steehn, found at twitch.tv/SteehnMachine. Same on Twitter. It's spelled right up there. As always, I'm joined by no relation at all. Don't know this man at all. Just met him on the internet. Always good to meet guys on the internet, older guys especially, as a young guy. Joined by Scott Steehn, lead handicapper at Winners and Winers. He'd be found at Winners and Winers on YouTube or at Steehn Roller. It's spelled like his name, Steehn, and then Roller, all one word. And of course, I do know him. Of course, he is my father. But let's be clear. I'm not advocating to meet older men on the internet. Let's get that out there now. We're off to a blazing start here on Steehn vs. Machine.
Damn it, boy. Put the shovel down. Stop digging. Good Lord.
I refuse. If there's
I'm about this person not claiming any relationship to you whatsoever. So,
if there's one thing I learned from you over these years, it was to keep digging. You'll eventually get somewhere. Hopefully you'll dig in a circle and come back out on top.
When you start that hole, just keep making it bigger. That's the way to go. So, yeah, we're gonna talk a little football. I got to see you last weekend, Truman. You came in for a quick super spreader event, and then you just went and then you went home. So that was good.
I spread and I go. That's how super spreader works.
Little spray and go there, man.
Yeah,
I'm hoping nobody's called you yet with contact tracing. That nobody's been positive at the wedding.
No, everybody's feeling great. I feel great. Mom Sawyer feels great. All the groomsmen feel great. I haven't heard any problems whatsoever. So that's.
Are we going to even acknowledge starting the show 11 minutes earlier or 11 minutes late? Or are we just going to make believe like that didn't happen?
Oh, hey, welcome in, everybody. We're 11 minutes late. All right, cool. We did it. We acknowledged it. All the zero viewers that are just waiting on the clock are really upset. So, but of course, this will go up on the YouTube. We were absent last week. We did not have the Steehn vs. Machine show. As we mentioned, I was in town. Because we had done the wedding and stuff, we didn't really want to get together and do the Steehn vs. Machine. And also the logistics, I think it was just not great. Not a great thing that I was like super excited to work out.
It's way too complicated when we're sitting in the same room. We have to wait till we're 1,000 miles apart.
Right. For some reason, it is much easier this way. But and you know, I was running around like chicken with my head cut off all weekend, trying to see everybody back in KC, of course. And but I did post, if you like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, if you go to the Twitter.com/SteehNMachine, I did post the picks for everybody to check out, just in case you wanted to see how we were doing that week. And even if you didn't see him until now, we can go over last week's picks right now. Scott, you had the Steelers -3.5. I believe that was a dub. Vikings,
big winner.
Vikings -4. Yikes.
Could have used some of those extra points from the Steelers game in that one.
Yeah. Titans -3.5. Woo. Never a doubt. Never a doubt, huh? Packers -1. Well, at least it was close.
Not so much.
No, not at all. And the Cardinals -1, and they absolutely demolished in Jerry World. The exact opposite.
If I could have distributed the points correctly, they all covered.
If you would have asked me whether or not I thought between the Cardinals and the Packers, who was going to blow out their opponent that week, I was not expecting it to be the Cardinals, even though it was just the Cowboys. So, either way, it worked out. I mean, 3-2. Again, like we said, you've had a lot of positive weeks. I think you've had about one negative week, I think. Maybe.
One negative week. We went 1-4, yeah. We went 1-4 1 week.
That's great. It's like, you should do this for a living. You should handicap for a living. Have you ever thought about that?
I'll give it some thought as soon as we're off, man.
Man, I think a great company would make you their lead handicapper.
You think so? You would think that would happen. We'll see what happens. And yourself, how'd you do? Because this is the first time I've actually seen your picks.
My picks, I had the Panthers -1. Man, they just could not figure out the Bears offense. I mean, they could not figure out the Bears defense. It was a hard fought battle, but they didn't get it done. I also had the Steelers -3.5. Good. Jaguars money line, not even close. Not ever. I don't think.
There's three words that shouldn't go together.
Colts -7. I think I've taken the Jags money line like 3 weeks in a row. I think they won their first week, and I think my model has spit out a Jags money line every single week. I'm not doing it this week. Yeah. I'm not. They're like a drug that's hard to quit. Those Jaguars. It's the mustache, I think, on Minshew.
I can't quit you.
I had the Colts -7.5, and man, they were better than Cincinnati, and I know they're better than Cincinnati, and inexplicably their defense let Cincinnati get up 14-0 early, and then they only win by 4 or 3. It was just
Yep.
Makes you sick.
Chase them the whole way.
I think they were up 1 and had the ball late, and were driving, and I was like, maybe I got a shot here, and then they kick a field goal and they win by 4, and I was like, oh my god, I think that's what it was. If not, I am a total liar, and the Colts just won by 4. Otherwise,
they might have even been up 17-0 early.
That was just insane. How do you let that team get up on you at all, ever?
I don't know. I did not watch that game. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I did not watch that game this week. So
right, and then
I can't tell you how that happened.
And then I had Titans -3.5 at -110. So my 2 picks, I went with you. Fantastic. 3 picks, I didn't go with you.
Yeah.
Not great. Although the picks that we didn't agree on, I mean, you went 1 and 2 on. So I mean, not to toot my own horn here, but
that is quite a round trip to make yourself feel better about going 1 and 2 on about going 2 and 3 on your picks.
Yeah, there's no torn to hoot.
And 0 and 3 on me.
Yeah, no, absolutely no horn to toot here. Or torn to hoot, as I was
going to say. So very good. So what's that bringing the season records up to?
All right. So you are looking. So with your 3-2 performance last week, you're +80 again, and the week before that, since we didn't recap that one, you were also +80. So that added, you got to add +160 to your total. You're up to +490 on the year, going 18-12, which is a solid job. I went 3-2 2 weeks ago, 2 and 3 this week. I was +95 2 weeks ago, -130 this week. Bringing overall for those 2 weeks, I was -35, and I'm at 237 now. I'm at -237. I was at -202, which does not mean, in this case, does not mean that I'm favored to beat you by at a line of 237. I wish.
It's not.
Not great.
You have of course, we've got 11 weeks left, so we're
right.
I'm not dancing in the end zone just yet.
No, and really, neither of us have had a disastrous week in a while. It's been I don't think we've had a disastrous week. Like maybe you went 1 and 4 once this season. I think your bad week was 1 and 4, but you've gone you've had 4 and 1 weeks and 3 and 2 weeks every other week. So did you have a 5 and 0 week one week?
I did.
You did, yeah. So yeah, I mean you've had the disaster week, but you've had average to great weeks every all the other weeks, and I've had average and below average weeks, but it's
nothing disastrous.
Nothing disastrous, but also nothing out of the park yet. So
I think there's a lot of bettors out there, Truman, that would love to be down just 2.37 units after 6 weeks.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah, I'm feeling grateful this week. I mean, I'm feeling grateful to only be down because I don't feel like I feel like I'm always 1 or 2 picks away, and that's the bettor's dilemma, right? You're always 1 or 2 picks away from having that great week. Like 2 weeks ago, all I needed was like a score in one of those games, or I've had a few weeks where the money lines got stopped at the goal line, and I'm like, we're this close, but we don't pay for this close. That's what makes sports betting fun. That's why you bet, huh? That's why it's fun.
No, I had the over in the Arkansas State game last night. They fell short by 6 points. Arkansas State had the ball 1st and goal inside the 1, 1st and goal inside the 6, and didn't score anything either time.
Right.
So it just shows you how you've got a game handicapped right. Sometimes the result doesn't favor you.
Yeah. But that's all fine and dandy. Just kind of keep cruising here. I felt like we were gonna have more to talk about from these previous weeks, but I guess not a ton. We're getting pretty good at recapping this pretty quick. So
Yes.
you want to just get into it? Want to get into next week's
Do
picks,
it.
huh? We're gonna do
Let's do it. Let's have them look up when they go to play that video. It doesn't say 1 hour plus.
I know, that'd be awesome.
Let's rock.
Hey, there's the cat, by the way. In case you were waiting on the cat to hop up and make an appearance, there's the producer in the back of set here.
I was.
That's always a great indication, is to have the black cat hop up in the middle of the show. That's what everybody says. For me, it is. I don't, everybody else, I don't, but it's always nice to have her in the windowsill. If she only hopped into the video and then hopped out, it would be bad luck. But when she comes to stay, the black cat crosses your path, bad luck. Black cat comes to stay, good luck. That's a long way to say, here's my first pick of the week. I've got the Cowboys -1 at -110. We're hoping to see them bounce back. We're hoping they get a little bit more of a rhythm with Andy Dalton coming up. We've got, they're playing a bad Detroit team, and I feel like that's, if there's ever been a good right game or a get right game in the history of get right games, it's probably against Detroit. I guess the other get right team of the year would probably be the New York Jets, maybe.
I hate to break the bad news to you, son. They're not playing Detroit.
Did I read that wrong? Am I going crazy?
I don't know which of those options holds here. But.
Oh, it's shit. That's for my next pick. That's right. That's for a later pick. Sorry, they are. Oh my gosh, thank you. They're playing the Washington football team again. Another kind of atrocious team that's really not playing great. But they were close last week to beating the Giants. That Washington football team almost beat the Giants last week. Wow,
There you go.
If they get that, if Riverboat Ron hits that 2-point conversion, we're talking about maybe we're talking about the Cowboys as the dogs. The Cowboys did start out of the dogs this week, but we've seen it in the later in the week here. We've seen it flip to the -1, so we'll see if that line holds it. We could be back to the Dallas money line. Who knows? But that does it for my first pick. What are we looking at for you, huh?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you that I wouldn't get anywhere near the Dallas Cowboys. That is a horrific defense. It is epically bad, and I would with the red rocket, the red rifle. You're gonna put your eye out.
What, Brandon Allen or Kyle Allen? Which of the Allens is it? Is it Kyle Allen or Brandon Allen right now?
It's Kyle Allen right now.
Right.
But this is a team that allows, and this is in the NFL, by the way, allows 36.3 points per game. This defense does.
Yeah.
And they've allowed 40 over their because going into this game, I think they were at 199 for their last 5. So they have been 159 for their last 4. So they've been bad, and they've been worse lately. Good luck. That's all I can say.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it.
There's not much to like about this Washington team either. I wanted nowhere near that game. So I always do root for you. So good luck to you. My first pick is going to be the Cleveland Football Browns -3 at the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is a Bengals team that has got some backdoor covers for us. They got one against the Browns, as a matter of fact, last time when they went on 2 sustained drives there at the end of the game that meant absolutely nothing except giving us a backdoor cover. And I was on Cincinnati last time, but I am off of them. This is a Cleveland Browns team. They do a lot of things right, and it's just a matter of getting Baker Mayfield enough time to throw the ball, and that should not be a problem. The other thing about this Cincinnati team, they're missing the starting safety, they're missing a cornerback, and they're going to be missing Joe Mixon. Now, I don't really care about running back so much, although Joe Mixon is probably a top 10 back in the NFL.
All of a sudden, too. He really, I've been underimpressed for Joe Mixon since he came in, honestly, and as a person in college. But it's he's kind of ascended all of a sudden, and right when Joe Burrow needed him to.
So these are 2 teams that aren't fantastic, but I do like the better team right here. Give me the Browns to finally put Cincinnati in their place.
At -3, -125.
Yeah,
I like it. All right, moving on. I'll give you my second pick. I've got the Steelers money line. Oh shoot, and I forgot. Hold on, let me get. And I know it's not a humongous money line. Let me make sure I get the odds on there. I forgot to add it on there. They're playing the Titans, correct? And a clash of the unbeatens in the AFC. Kind of honestly, two teams that I didn't expect to really be undefeated there. But
last two undefeated teams in the NFL, by the way.
In the entire NFL? Is that true? Wow,
yeah.
Really? Wow.
I believe so.
I missed that.
Run down your other divisions real quick. Who you got? You don't have nobody in the West. Seattle's lost, right?
Did Seattle lose?
I thought they did.
Did they blow one yet? Did they blow a dumb one?
Well, maybe not. Maybe
I thought they escaped because they should have lost to the Vikings. I think Seattle's still undefeated. I think they should have lost to the Vikings, and then they had a bye week last week.
Maybe I read that wrong. Maybe it was Seattle is still 5-0, so they're
right.
Two of the last three undefeated teams. There you go. How about that?
Right, because the Pack blew their easy game against the 49ers. That was a debacle watching them lose. But
very weird.
So yeah, sorry. I've got the Steelers money line at plus 108. And again a Titans team, but I'm honestly interested to see my model spits out the Steelers should win this one, but they have it close, and I think this is going to be probably the most exciting game of the weekend if I had to pick it. Honestly, one of the most where it's like, okay, who is actually going to be a challenge for the AFC number 1 overall seed? I need to know. I'm not sure I've been blown out of the water by either of these teams, but I'm not sure I have reasons to worry about either of these teams, if that makes sense. So,
right,
it's exciting to see. I'm excited to see what happens here. So, yeah. So give me the Steelers money line plus 108 for my second pick.
Okay.
Ready for your second pick?
Falcons -1 at home against the Lions.
That's who's playing the Lions.
Regardless of their defense, I do like this Atlanta offense quite a bit. Their defense has played better in the last 3 weeks. In fact, the last 3 games they've given up 25.3 points per game. Gave it up just 23 last time. I'm not saying that firing Dan Quinn makes all the difference in the world, but it certainly seems to have had a positive effect on the Atlanta Falcons so far. So I'll take them over a struggling Detroit team, a team that I really wanted to like, but the defense, again, under Matt Patricia, for whatever reason, just isn't playing good football right now. So yeah, I will. I know they played well last time, but giving up just 16 points to Jacksonville. But again, we're talking about teams that are actually NFL teams, and I don't really put Jacksonville in that category.
Right.
So, which will be an interesting thought to come back to. Circle back on my pick here in a minute, but I do like Atlanta. Just laying the 1 point there. I think that's a good price for the Atlanta Falcons against the Detroit Lions.
Man, yeah, and as long as they don't trade Julio Jones before that game, it should be about set.
Should be good. Yep.
I don't hate that pick. Moving on, my third pick, I've got the Cardinals money line at plus 152. We just talked about those Seahawks. The models got them just being a little bit vulnerable. I think Seahawks are actually favored at -3.5. I've actually got the Cardinals money line at plus 152. I just checked that. That's live. But it's it's like we just kind of described. It kind of feels like the Seahawks team is lost. And I don't hate taking a home dog against a team that's been sporadic. And don't get me wrong, the Falcons have had their fair share of games, and so dropping that game to Detroit, I think that's Detroit's 1 win. But I mean, this Cardinals team is still 4-2, and it's a divisional clash, which always gives them a little bit of an advantage there. As we saw, where versus the Chiefs versus the Raiders, where maybe we didn't think the Raiders were as good as the Chiefs, but they were able to pull it out. You see a team 2 times a year for enough years, you'll figure something out. And this Seahawks defense is not great, so it'll be interesting what Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray can draw up there for a little Cardinals money line plus 152. That'll be my third pick of the week.
All right, very good. Yeah, I can't get behind the Seahawks defense. I think it's a solid play. Although I was surprised at how poorly Murray threw the ball last week.
Yeah.
Uh, but he is, on the plus side, he is a hell of a weapon with this. He is so much faster than Lamar Jackson. Uh,
He's sneaky.
he,
He's just, I wouldn't say sneaky quick. He's just sneaky. He's
he
very
runs
surprising.
he runs like an actual running back.
Right.
Lamar Jackson runs like a good running quarterback. He runs like a Michael Vick or a Donovan McNabb. Um, those kind of guys.
Mm-hmm.
But Kyler Murray runs like a running back when he's got the ball in the open field on a design run or on a design run. He looks like a running back out there with the moves that he has. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't hate that play a bit. I think that's a good chance to pick up some money there.
Mm-hmm.
My next pick is going to be continue Operation Fade the Jets at every turn. As we have the Buffalo Bills next up, minus 10.5. You and I were talking about this a little bit before the show. This was at 11 earlier today, and it's now down to 10.5. And I'm wondering,
the money is coming in on the Jets.
What kind of degenerate person goes, oh, the Jets plus 11? Yeah, that's pretty much my strike point. Get me down on the mean green right there.
Somebody was saying there 10.5 or 10 too much, but 11. Oh, there we go. I like 11.
There is nothing to like about this Jets team. They are 29th in the league at points surrendered, and they are dead last at points scored. They have scored just 12.5 points a game, Truman, including getting shut out last time. Just
right.
Nothing to like about this Jets team at all. It is amazing every week. They put up a number that is about a touchdown lower than it should be. Every week, people just pound the shit out of who is ever playing the Jets, and then the next week it's rinse, lather, repeat. There has been tremendous value on the Jets' opponents this year. In fact, the Jets are yet to cover a spread. They are 0-6 against the number. Give me the Buffalo Bills minus 10.5 for $40,000 against the New York Jets.
I don't hate it. A few comments though. The Jets. So we talked about we had that joke running between us, that we mentioned the other week that we had seen, whereas the Jets were plus 5,000 or plus 50 or plus 1,500 or something insane for their shot to win the Super Bowl. And it's like, so that means if you lay $100 on the Jets to win the Super Bowl, you would lose $100.
Right.
But on the inverse of that, this week they actually released the line of the Jets going 0-16. Can you guess what that line was if you didn't already see it?
Plus 550.
Plus 350.
Okay.
Getting there. We're getting not insane odds on an 0-16 Jets team.
Well, let's see who the Jets have left. So other than obviously playing in the AL East, I mean the AFC East.
Yeah.
You've got the Chargers. So you got the AFC West. So you've got the Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Seahawks, Rams, and Cleveland, and then of course the AFC East.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
you have to steal one against the Dolphins, or
right.
Steal one against the man. They already lost to the Broncos.
They have already lost to the Broncos by 9. Yes.
Shit.
So yeah, not good. Not good at all.
Not insane. Not a bad time to lay the line. Although
I think plus 350 may be a decent price there.
On the inverse side of this of things, this has been a Buffalo team that has kind of struggled to beat the crap out of inferior opponents. Very similar to kind of what we see with the Chiefs a lot of the time. We saw them beat the Dolphins by 4, beat the Raiders by 7. But they also went and beat the Rams. So they let bad teams hang around, and I have no doubt that the Jets will lose. But if the Jets are gonna beat the spread on any team this year, I don't hate the Bills to be that team that they beat the spread on for some dumb reason, especially coming off of a But the Bills might be out for blood after dropping that game to Kansas City and looking to kind of assert their dominance again and let them know who's up. So I could be totally off here, but just a point to think about. But
what do you like about the Jets?
Oh, absolutely nothing. They traded away the one thing that I felt okay about. So
Jamal Adams.
Yeah, I mean him too, but Le'Veon Bell as well. Le'Veon Bell hadn't been doing shit, but he at least took some amount of pressure off of Sam Darnold running for his life.
Now, just to be clear, I don't believe they didn't trade him.
Oh, sorry. Yes, they just released him. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. They just decided to release him.
I guess they've been trying to work a deal for him, and there was no takers.
So why do you get rid of him? Why do you?
Because they wanted to get rid of. That's like if you go to the store and you're getting ready to buy something, and the clerk comes by and goes, we're just going to throw that out at the end of the day. You can get it out of the trash. You're like, okay, well, I don't know why I would buy it then.
Right.
And it's the same thing with Le'Veon Bell. When you obviously have a guy that's not a fit for your team and you want to get rid of him, and people are like, I think I'll just wait till you throw it in the trash, and then I'll just go ahead and get it that way. How about that?
Right, and that's where we're at now. I guess that's. Yeah, again, I'm with you. The Jets have no bright spots, absolutely zero bright spots. But I think it's a Bills team that sometimes struggles to put away good teams. But not saying I hate your pick. I love that. That's a good pick. At no point am I the better who's rushing to the window to go bet Jets plus 10.5.
Give me some of them Jets, 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 baby.
They will not meet my BETS bets.
Win never for Trevor, baby.
For my fourth pick, I actually match your first pick. I have the Browns -3, -125. I'm with you there. I like the Browns back. They've struggled against good opponents, but they've this year they're taking care of bad opponents, and that is the sign of a good wild card team or a good third place team in the AFC North. So I like them to kind of bounce back here against those Bengals and knock them around. And I don't expect the Bengals to put up that much of a fight. The Bengals haven't been amazing all year. They beat a bad team. What?
The who?
The Bengals?
Who are they
Bengals? What is it? Bengals?
The Bengals. The Bengals do walk like an Egyptian.
I swore I used to say the Bengals, and then people were like, "The Bengals, you mean?" And I was like, "I guess."
Well, only if you said you were walking like an Egyptian. You say, "I love that Bengals song," and they go, "No, it's the Bengals."
I mean, that's that too. But okay, I like the Browns to beat the Bengals. Shit. All right, moving on. Who's your fourth pick, Scott?
I'm going to play a total here. I'm going to play the Packers Texans under 57. This could be a white knuckle affair with the under, because you're definitely taking your life in your own hands, playing unders this season without question. But I just really don't like this Texans offense at all. I think they lack weapons. I'm not impressed with Deshaun Watson. He's fine, but people that try to put him on the level of Rodgers or Mahomes or even Jackson, I think that's a lot of wishful thinking right there.
He's not there right now. With a new coach and a new system, who knows? But not right now.
Yeah, and I realize this is a Green Bay offense that has struggled with good defense. Green Bay defense has struggled with good offenses. So we'll see. And I know Rodgers has something to prove. This is kind of taking a shot here. The last two Packers games have played under the total, and they were able to hold a very, very potent Atlanta Falcons offense to 16 points. That's kind of been their highlight. So we shall see what happens. Of course, they got torched by TB12 last week for 38, but they were lucky enough to suck and still stayed underneath the total. So we'll see what happens, Truman.
Well, and a fair amount of those points last week were also Rodgers induced. That was, what a game from Rodgers. Oh, that's some of the worst I've seen him look. He got up 10-0 and he did the pumps, and then all of a sudden it all went to shit. So.
Yeah, we had the Packers there, and pretty excited up to 10-0. And that was pretty much the highlight. I just could have turned it off and went for a walk at that point, because that was the highlight of the day.
Well,
as far as that game goes. So that's my fourth pick. What you got?
well, Snowball's fifth pick of the week here. The
Are
Snowball
you sure?
pick of the week.
I started.
What?
I started.
No, I started because I was the loser. Losers walk.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I started with my Cowboys pick.
That's right. All right, go ahead. Bring it on home, then, boy.
Bring it on home. I've also again I'm gonna match you with at least 2 this week, huh? That's generally my safe space, I guess. I've got Atlanta -1. Again, just like you said, it's a bad Detroit team. Sorry, and that's where I got mixed up on where the Detroit on who was playing Detroit and what. I was like, I know I picked somebody against Detroit, and it was the Atlanta -1. It was not. But for the record, I would also love the Cowboys -1 over Detroit. This Detroit team that doesn't have many bright spots right now. Atlanta, has gotten rid of Dan Quinn, so that's always a bit of a question mark when you're moving on. But I don't hate them. So I trust this offense. I trust the offense of Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, and Todd Gurley. So as long as you keep that together, although I don't think they'll be together much longer. Yeah, indeed. So, yes, I love Atlanta as my number 5 pick. All right, moving on to your 5th and final pick here.
All right, very good. I'm going to take a look at the last game on the card. This is the second to last game on the card. Sorry, late afternoon game. It is the Jags at the Chargers. Truman, I'm going to take the Jags plus 9 points right here. And I know I dissed on the Jags earlier. They got blown out last week by Detroit, but you know what? I'm just not convinced of this Chargers team. I think they've got some issues right now. They seem to be like a team that will win the game, but they end up screwing around. They'll make a couple of mistakes, and they'll allow the Jags to stay in it. It is not my number 1 play of the week without question, but give me the Jags plus 9 against the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah. I don't.
My goodness.
Hey, geez, huh? We got a cat on the keyboard.
Did you try to move her?
Yeah, I tried to pick up the keyboard, so we're going.
Didn't care for that, huh?
No, she said this show's going too long. You got to end the show. What's going on? Why is this show still going, huh? So let's wrap it up, huh? Just to go back through the 5 picks for each of us. I had Cowboys -1, Steelers money line at plus 108, Cardinals plus 152, the Browns -3 at -125, and Atlanta -1 at -125. You had the Browns -3 at -125, Atlanta -1 -125. Hey, I like those picks. Bills -10.5 -110. Green Bay and Houston under 57 at -110, and the Jaguars +9 at -130. Sounds correct? Sounds good?
Sounds correct.
Alrighty. Well, Scott, I wish you the best of luck. Like I said always, this is a competition, but I'd much rather us battle at 5-0 versus 4-1, or 4-1 versus 3-2. Yeah, I don't care for the battling at 2-3, 3-2. And
I'm also rooting for you, because if you could ever develop an algorithm where I could just sit back and not have to spend all day capping, that would be fantastic. So I definitely root for the machine to be correct.
Of course, make a lot of lives easier. I know.
Right.
And I mean, I've gone positive. I think 4 of the 2 weeks, or 3. I think I'm about half and half on positive weeks, and the model overall is pretty damn near 500 right now, as this is minus, is because this is only the top 5. So some picks, sometimes I have to find a few extra picks on this one compared to the model only picking 3, or sometimes the model picks 8 and I have to pick my best 5. So the model is overall, I think we're still sitting right about at 500. So we really haven't had terrible weeks there either. I think last week was the closest we've really had to a bad week. I think I went like 2-5 last week. That was about the worst week I've had, and that's not a good week. But every other week's been pretty positive. So, or even
right.
Positive. I think I've had 1 negative week before that. So, I'm feeling good. Feeling confident.
Feeling good. Feeling strong.
Yeah, good, strong. Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
Scott.
Well, good luck, bud. Good luck on all your plays, and
Yeah.
of course, good luck. Good luck to all the viewers and listeners at home. Good luck on all of your plays. Hope every ticket in your hand turns into cash money at the window.
Of course, Scott. Where can we find you?
As always, you can find me over at YouTube on Winners and Winers channel. I also can be found at Steamroller on Twitter. And, of course, we also have winnersandwiners.com, which is a it is a site like no other site around anywhere. It is deep dives into every game going on in North America every single day. So if you're looking for, if you're one of those people that likes to read facts, figures, numbers, behind the scenes, all that stuff, check out winnersandwiners.com.
Yeah. Yep. And, of course, I'm Truman Steehn. We found at Twitter and Twitch /Steehn Machine. STEEHNMACHINE. I've gotten really good at spelling, but it's right up top.
Steehn Machine.
Yes.
All right.
Alrighty. Guys, I hope, as Scott said, wish everybody good luck, and we hope to see you next week. Back here, 7 p.m. Central Time, normally, or around that time somewhat.
And I'll sign off just like I do whenever I make an appearance on any kind of media. Love you, man.
and as I always end every show, love you too, Dad. All right.
All right, buddy. Have a good week, man.
Alrighty. See you next week. Bye.